Well, one of the things that's been fun to watch is, as mobile as we have been, we still require the need to communicate where we are, when we are, right the heck now. And from working with Mark and so many others at TrueNorth, we know that you folks have worked very hard in that particular area. Let's talk first on what's new from TrueNorth.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that, Jim. TrueNorth, we announced at the new products yesterday that we have a new product line called Optelity, and it's an interesting word. It's a word we actually made up. You know, sometimes you just have to make up a word to describe what it does. But basically, if you think about the meaning of the words opportunity, connectivity, flexibility, and telephony.
Yes.
You take key parts of all those words, you can kind of get optelity, the op and opportunity, the tel and telephony, and the ilities of connectivity and flexibility. And so we've designed a new product that kind of embodies all those elements, and we call it Optelity.
Excellent.
Basically what it is it's a new generation. We've been manufacturing products for 10 years, and technology just never stays still. So we can't just rest on our laurels because our last product was good. We've got to make a new product, put all the things that we learned over the past 10 years into it, plus all the new technology that's available now that wasn't available several years ago.
What does this bring to the mix that wasn't heretofore present?
Well, as far as processors, they're always improving and getting better, so our router relies better on processor technology. From a manufacturing standpoint, we've really been able to do things where we can design our own components, have them manufactured to be installed instead of doing COTS equipment, which runs into obsolescence issues all the time. But more importantly, from a functionality standpoint, we're really trying to focus on meeting the needs of customers. Every customer has a different story as to what they need in their mission when it comes to connectivity. Some of them, they just want it to be wide open Wi-Fi that's easy to access and use. Other ones want to make sure that they have double redundancy across the board. You know, sometimes people want to make sure that they have a Wi-Fi for one group of flight crew, a Wi-Fi for the passengers, and then a Wi-Fi for the VIP. You know, it's different all the time, and it's our job to have equipment that can facilitate and make that happen depending on the individual need.
Sounds like there's a tremendous amount of customization required once you figure out who the customer is and what kind of install to undertake.
Yeah, it's a good point, and there is a lot of customization because you're dealing with something different. If you have a Fortune 100 company that might have a fleet of 3 planes, but maybe 100 individuals that fly on those planes on a regular basis, versus just a high net worth individual who has his own plane or her own plane, and it's very limited on who's on that plane. There's a wide variety of things that you have to be able to do to satisfy those needs. And so when we look at it from creating product, we want to have things that will satisfy those needs. We can use software to implement, and we can work closely with other manufacturers and providers in the industry to just make it as seamless and easy as possible for the customers.
So are you working more with an end user, or are you working with the installers and the companies that are putting together packages that update and allow these aircraft to be more usable and have more utility for the future?
It's all of the above. The way
Really?
I see it, connectivity on the aircraft is a team effort. You know, it starts from the manufacturers of the different equipment that interface to different satellite or ground networks that basically brings the pipe to the aircraft. And we have to touch those. You know, we just can't do it on our own. We need to be able to touch that equipment and utilize it to make it easy for the passengers. But at the same time, we have to work with our dealer network, many of whom are here today. You know, this is a great show to have chances to talk to the dealers who have installed our product and work directly with the customers. But at the same time, for me, it's important that I'm talking to the flight departments too, so I can understand what they need. And it's kind of a funny dance how it all gets done, but we all work together meeting the same goal of basically making the passengers on the plane happy, which makes the flight department look good, which makes the dealer look good, which makes our products look good.
There's been a lot made today in various segments, whether it be communication or in maintenance or flight displays, you name it, about the concept of a trusted partner, about a company that has both the knowledge, the longevity, the technical acumen to know that this is somebody you need to do business with.
Sure.
Who's TrueNorth? Tell me a little bit about the company, and more important, why this company survives in an incredibly competitive industry.
Sure. Well, TrueNorth is it's really a start from nothing company, and Mark Van Berkel is the president of the company, and basically it was his vision. We were just fortunate enough to have our 10-year anniversary, so the company's been around for 10 years, and I had to ask myself too, how did this happen? How did we do this? And maybe even what was mentioned at the AEA, I believe, I can't remember if it was Paula or I think it was Paula. She mentioned, see what's not there, that whole phrase. And I believe that Mark and some people close to him, they saw something that wasn't there as far as utilizing handsets in the aircraft, making something that was more robust and could do more, and just fitting a need that didn't exist. And along the way, we've added on more and more to the things that we do. So to answer your question, on one hand, there's just the vision and making products that actually meet that vision, and other people agreeing with that vision and helping it become a reality. But then two, and I kind of hinted at it already, it's the people of the AEA, the dealers, the engineers that work at various places, and people in flight departments that embrace what you bring to them, give you the opportunity to prove your products and go out, you actually do it, and then you build a reputation. It's as simple as that. It's been a long haul, but I think over 10 years, TrueNorth has built a very good reputation of building the product and going through that process, and like you said, building trust.
Well, for a segment of the industry that overall isn't that old, a 10-year longevity is nothing to sneeze at, for sure. And we've worked with Mark quite a bit in the past on various projects, including a video project some time ago that was just a lot of fun to work, because it was obvious to me that this was somebody who had an innate vision of how, not only what he wanted to do, but how he wanted it represented.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
No, very much so.
It's what some people call it micromanaging, other people just call it doing business the right way, so it worked out pretty well. What's in the future for TrueNorth at this point?
Well, we're working with a lot of companies. In addition to manufacturing our own equipment, we are going out and trying to meet the needs of other OEM manufacturers in this industry, and we'll manufacture product for them and deliver to them. But for the next couple of years, with Optelity coming out, we're going to focus on really maximizing all the potential of that product. And we're also very active right now in the fans mandate that's coming up. We have a product that does fans over Iridium. Several STCs are done, and they're starting to be utilized by more and more aircraft and dealers. And I think it's going to keep us very busy over the next few years, quite honestly.
I dare say you're right. Certainly sounds interesting.
Thank you.
Jeff Beutel from TrueNorth, we sure appreciate your time. We're looking forward to keeping up to date with you, especially as this product starts getting some legs on it. And we'll stay in touch with you and Mark and the gang. And down the line, we'll have to see how, not only how this product's been received and what you're learning from your customer base, because in the long run, your customer base will drive your development faster than anything else.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 59th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Orlando, Florida, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Are you stall smart? Ever since Orville and Wilbur took to the skies, pilots have been taught that the more airspeed you have, the better off you are. But over the last 100 plus years, we've learned that's not always the case. Take stalls, for example. The common belief is that if you have sufficient airspeed, the aircraft won't stall. The fact is, an airfoil always stalls at the same critical angle of attack in relation to the relative airflow, regardless of airspeed, configuration, or weight. Learn more at aspenavionics.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propellor has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propellor.